The following is a presentation of Stewed Productions.
Hey everybody, it's Thursday. I don't know if you knew that, but I knew that.
Is that today?
Today's Thursday.
Oh, wow.
And
Cool.
it's a very special Thursday today
You don't
because
say.
I do say that today
Yes.
is a special day today. Because all
Sure,
the way, hey,
Oh, no.
in what happened?
No, you're starting already. That's why I'm annoying.
Oh,
Yeah.
with the annoying dad joke
I thought
silliness?
this was your attempt at rap.
Oh, I would never do that.
Okay.
I was told not to. Explicit instructions not to.
That was a very smart person.
Right.
You should listen to that person.
By the way, I'm Josh, your host. Liquid Lunch is the show you're watching. Next to me is Kennedy here in studio.
Hey.
I'm hearing an echo. Is that your mic?
It's not working for me, man.
Oh, the voices you hear. The voices you hear in the background, all the way from Midland, Texas. Joining us today, Aaron, Jamie. Is Tim there with y'all yet? I didn't.
He's on his way.
Tim's on his way from Eccentric Brewing in Midland. Welcome, guys.
Hey, welcome.
You're on in front of. Yeah.
Yes.
The excellent lighting there in your brewery shining off your beautiful shiny tanks there. But we are a Texas show in Midland out in the Permian Basin. Kennedy, I don't know if you knew about the Permian Basin. You know about the Permian Basin?
I've heard stories.
You hear a lot about Midland and Odessa and the Permian Basin when high school football season rolls around. I think we're like 45 days till kickoff or something like that.
Something like that. So they're ramping up here. They get This is definitely a high school football community out here.
Yeah, they also you'll have a minor league baseball team too, right?
We do. We've got the Rockhounds out here.
Yeah, are they any good?
They actually I want to say I think last year they went to the playoffs. Year before I think they won the AAA championship.
Okay.
So they do pretty decent.
Yeah, Texas League team. They're a Oakland A's affiliate. Kennedy, I know you're a big.
That is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, huge fan.
Kennedy's a big sports fan
Huge.
over here. He's
Nice.
the Women's World
Nice.
Cup has got him just frothing at the mouth. He can't get enough.
Yeah.
Did you know the Women's World Cup was going on?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah, someone got in a lot of trouble.
Who did?
The USA team.
For what?
Excessive celebration. They beat somebody by like 20 points.
Oh, is that the who was that?
I don't know.
Cameroon or somewhere like that?
No, it was like Thailand, I think.
Oh, Thailand.
Yeah, see, I'm up on my.
That was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know.
I thought Thailand, maybe this is me making assumptions, and I'm going to do a lot more of those when it comes to talking about Midland and some other things. Just you wait. But I thought that the Thai team would be really good at kicking, with all the Thai boxing. Maybe I watched too much UFC, but I thought they'd be better at kicking. But anyway.
You're stereotyping there. You're going to get us in a lot of trouble.
I don't know.
That is politically incorrect, sir.
Sorry. Too much UFC. But anyway, well, guys, what is going on in Midland? How are things?
It's hot.
Definitely hot.
Sounds like good beer weather.
Yesterday.
What is the average high this time of year in beautiful Midland, Texas?
It would vary. It would vary between probably the upper 90s and 105. It will probably get even hotter by the time we get to late July, maybe August. We've seen 117 a few times in the past.
That sounds super pleasant.
By the end of June, we will start seeing 100-degree days
Consistently.
Okay.
But hey, you know what, guys? It's a dry heat.
There you go.
Yeah, you're not swimming in it.
Yeah, that's true. Houston feels like you're wearing a wet sweater, and then you go for a jog. But
Right.
that sounds like prime beer drinking weather. Or that you definitely need one at the end of the day. So you guys are doing the Lord's work there with providing, good brews for all those people out there. Tell us about your brewery. How did this all get started? Eccentric Brewing.
That's a really kind of an interesting story. The really kind of the root of it started with I told Jamie, he's like, hey, we could start a brewery. I'd made him a couple of kegs just to give him some beer, and at one point I had been trying with others to get something going, and there's just some people you don't go into business with. But I casually mentioned to Jamie one day, I was like, hey, we could start a brewery, and he's like, that's an excellent idea.
It's what eccentric brewing is what happens when you take a dreamer of a home brewer and combine it with a serial entrepreneur who just loves to watch baby businesses grow.
Yeah.
So that's what our business is founded on is it's just this, bring something new to the community, bring something new to the beer community, bring something new to Midland, Texas that hasn't been here, and build a little baby business that feeds our dreams, So
Well, and it's a business that Midland or Odessa does not have at present. We're the only people brewing out here outside the homebrew club that's here. So we're putting out a lot of beer. We have competition coming soon, and they're good guys, but right now we're the only ones.
What size brewery do you have? We were talking before the show started in Midland. Do you know, Kennedy, here's a little piece of Midland trivia. Named Midland because it was in the midpoint between El Paso and Fort Worth. But midway.
Did you just look that up
just
now?
Not just now, over cereal this morning.
Google is amazing, guys.
Yeah, Wikipedia, right here, this guy. Josh Wikipedia Stewart, that's what they call him. Anyway,
Nobody calls you that.
Nobody, but maybe now. But Midway was taken, and so they're like, you know what, Midland seems good. And now Midland, Texas. Anyway.
Here we are.
I got some more trivia coming your way, but I'll save it just for prime spots.
Oh,
but we were talking before, Midland, 100,000 more, somewhere north of 100,000. Odessa, same sort of size, but the area maybe close to 500,000, somewhere between 300 and 500. A lot of people.
A lot of people
in the surrounding areas. Yeah, it's probably 500,000, but you're also including some parts of New Mexico when you do that.
Oh.
But New Mexico is only about a 45-minute drive.
Right.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Okay. Well, my family has a place in Taos, so we go to New Mexico often. Yeah.
Nice part of New Mexico.
Beautiful, right? And they've got some good beers up there too. So it's good to have places to stop along the way to wet your whistle. But with all those thirsty people out there, what types of beers are y'all brewing?
We've got two that are probably rolling on our flagship. So just like everyone else who's making beer, we have a really great IPA, and we sell a lot of it on a whim at the request of one of our vendors or retailers, whichever one you want to call them. We started putting out a blonde, and really, I'm not sure you call it a blonde. You call it more of an imperial blonde. It's called West Texas Gold. Matter of fact, I'm enjoying it right now.
West Texas Gold is a very big blonde.
We got a lot of big personalities out here, so we made a beer to match that. I got to be honest with you. I think West Texas Gold may be overtaking our numbers, our sales numbers over the IPA.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we also have an amber that we call Shrapnel that we sell a lot of, and then we have an American Pale Ale called Pig Slayer that we sell a lot of as well.
Okay.
Once we go into cans, we expect a lot out of Shrapnel and Pig Slayer. I think those two beers, once we get into cans, are going to be it's going to make it more accessible, and I think people are really going to love it.
Very cool. So, Midland, Odessa, the Permian Basin in the news a lot. Here, Houston hears about this a lot as well because of the fracking boom, the oil boom, that sort of thing going on. When I think of that, I think tough guys out in the heat a lot, all day long, working really hard, running trucks. You hear about all the people in and out trying to keep up with.
We got.
Hey, look at who showed up.
Yeah, we got Tim here.
Hey, boy.
That's it.
Tim, welcome to the show.
Everyone who's watching this, Tim Kreitz.
How's it going, everybody?
It's good. Thank you, Tim. Thanks for joining us.
You bet. My pleasure, man. Sorry for my tardiness. Having multiple businesses is a challenge at times.
Okay, well, let's get to that real quick. All of you guys all have jobs outside of the brewery. Is that
Yes.
what do y'all do when you're what is your? I guess this is your superpower. You're by night you're brewing superheroes. What is your day jobs?
Well, so I'm probably the easiest, and so I'm an environmental scientist for an oil and gas company in Midland, and so I handle all of our spill issues, air permitting, some regulatory stuff, all the weird stuff that they can throw at me right now. So I'm generally an environmental scientist.
Okay, sounds smart.
I'm a small oilfield service company. That's the main thing that goes on in this building where our brewery is located. And I also have a little side business called Primal Concepts, where we build out apocalyptic style baseball bats and sell them all over the world.
Wait,
So a lot of fun stuff.
yeah, apocalyptic style baseball bat, like wrapped in barbed wire.
Yeah, barbed wire, spikes, blades,
I'll be right
you
back.
name it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
a little bit of everything. So it started out as a hobby. It blew up into something that actually looks like a business on paper. So we roll with it and make it work. So
Aaron's going to the collection of apocalyptic
Yeah,
baseball
there you go.
bats.
So this is one of our creations here. This is our all-American spike. We put a big, huge oil-filled nut on top of them. Some different cool stuff like that. So we do a little bit of everything in this building, including make beer. So.
What type of wood works best for an apocalyptic?
Oh, wow.
So all of our bats are made from. I got in some very special bats. They're all made from curly maple, is what it is.
Oh, this
And curly maple, like if you look closely, there you can see like some real tiger stripe looking flame in the wood.
Yeah.
That is what curly maple gives us.
See, Kennedy and I were having this debate earlier if we're going to make a bat with spikes. He was saying ash. I'm like, no, maple is the way to go.
Ash is good. Ash gives a little bit of bend to it, and it's got a little bit more of a whip to it when you use an ash bat.
Ash, Army of Darkness.
Ash, Army of Darkness, that flows in there somewhere.
That's right.
But,
Shop smart.
So that being said,
Shop is smart.
Me personally, I'm a fan of the maple. So
Yeah, well, and then zombies they'll chew on ash.
this is true.
This
is true.
Yeah, so the maple, a little more, I don't know, security there.
Exactly.
Where
There you
can,
go.
where can you do you sell these online?
I do, yeah. So I've got a website. It's primalconcepts.net. You can see us on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Basically, Primal Concepts.
They shut them down.
Wow.
The zombies got in. They chewed the line.
What happened?
I don't know.
Huh.
I mean, it's far.
It,
Oh, are we back?
we got it.
We'll work on it.
We got Skypies.
No, it's fine. Full blown Skypies.
We got the Skypies again.
No, here's what I'll do. I'll reestablish the call, or should we try to just wait and see what happens? You tell me, technical man.
I'd go and reestablish.
All right, we'll reestablish. If you guys can hear something, reestablish the call.
All right. Well, yeah, if they're watching on the old Facebooks, whatever. We're not on YouTube again today. I don't know what's going on.
So there's an issue with YouTube, is what you're saying.
We're having YouTube issues. So, John, if you're already on Facebook watching us, I'm sorry. It's second week in a row something's happened with YouTube.
We don't know what's up.
I'll make it a priority this week to fix the YouTubes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to reestablish the call.
All right.
This time, sort of thing happens. It is a live show,
It happens.
so
It's fine.
yeah, it's mostly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, apocalyptic bats though. I did not see that one coming.
I didn't either. That came out of nowhere.
While we're
It's pretty cool though.
they were drinking their blonde, right? The big. Oh, do I see them there already on the call? I
Oh,
just
well,
can't hear
they're
them.
back. I
I
think
just
they're
can't hear
back.
them over here. I got to jump on the call. Hold on.
They're back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I don't either.
I just won't have audio. Hold on, let's get audio.
We need audio.
Yeah, that helps. Hold on, guys. Sorry.
We see
probably
you guys. Hi. Hi.
We'll establish. I'll see if that's
Wait.
weird. Oh, I got to just join the call. Hold on. Here we go.
They're there.
Yeah.
Hold on. We're getting it. We're
Yeah,
getting
we
it.
are getting it.
Oh boy, it happens a lot.
That's fine.
Unfortunately,
That's fine. It happens. Am I there?
but
Nope. Still didn't do it. Maybe it's me.
I'm blaming your computer.
It's fine.
They're talking.
Hey, there we
There
go.
There we go. Okay. There.
Oh, hey, we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
No, it's well, not the.
Talking about those bats, man.
Exactly.
It was not the apocalypse. Just a minor glitch.
Yeah, I thought those bats.
Everyone doesn't want to know about the apocalypse. Just keep calm and carry on.
Yeah.
Pay your taxes.
Pay your taxes and make sure you have enough beer. So okay, we have a question we ask every week on this show, and we jumped right into our conversation with you, and you already touched on it a little bit, Aaron, but we're gonna ask real quick, ladies and gentlemen, your favorite question.
It's time for your favorite segment and mine. Here on
Oh,
Liquid
holy
Lunch.
shit.
This is
What you drinking?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it would not be a beer show. So Aaron, you told us already you're drinking the blonde. Jamie, the same.
I'm actually drinking that is our shrapnel. So
Okay, excellent. And Tim.
This also is the blonde. Yeah.
I was refilling my glass.
Yeah, so that's what I got. I came in late, so I got what Aaron was drinking, which is fine. This is actually one of our best sellers, and this is actually one of my favorite beers that we make. Out of the three of us, I am the brewer who is into the lighter, more delicate beers. And so I'm a lot of times the voice of reason. On like,
I like this.
yeah.
I like this.
Yeah, and we kind of have a reputation for crafting bold beers, which we're proud of that. But every so often, it's nice to just have a blonde ale. Of course, it's a 6.5% blonde
No,
ale.
it's 7.9.
7.9.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, 7.9 blonde ale.
Yeah, like I say, our blonde is a big blonde. It's a big Texas blonde.
You used to see some of the blondes out here.
Yeah. See Harvey, that guy. And Wayne,
Wait, what?
he's got the blonde guy. Wayne, he's big.
Okay.
It's like 300 plus. Anyway, something else. Anyway, what are we drinking today? Kenny, you brought beer. Sorry.
It's funny you should
What
ask.
are y'all drinking?
Well, today we're doing our part, and we are saving the world. So I was recently in the Marble Falls area, and I got so many Save the Worlds.
Don't drop them.
Yeah, I'm not going to drop. This is their Belgian style pale ale. This is their, let me see, the Saison. I've got
You slam it down. That's why the beers explode. I
what-
figured it out after 3 years.
This is their Patters beer. And,
Wow, that's actually, I think, the first commercial Pattish beer I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know of another one either.
and a wit beer. So I've got 4 different Save the Worlds here.
Let's start with the wit. I've had the Patters beer, however they. But
You want to go light to heavy, huh?
I do. I mean, I haven't tried the wit.
Okay. You want to hear some wit?
I've been waiting 3 years for
I got
it.
jokes. No, I'm
Okay.
kidding.
I got jokes too.
You don't want to hear Aaron's jokes.
Come on.
Now bring it. Yeah, if you've got the cheesier the better. That's kind of the moniker of this show.
I definitely got cheesy. Like what do you call an Oklahoma gas card?
I don't know. What do you call an Oklahoma gas card? What?
Siphon hose.
I get it.
I told you didn't want to hear these jokes.
There.
people.
All right.
Oklahoma.
I think I got shut down.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
even have to match. We've got matching glasses
Ooh.
for
Fancy.
save the world. I don't know where you came this.
That's when
these.
I went.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, we've got these plastic cups because we got tired of breaking glasses.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is a Pinkies Out show, but yeah, it's plastic cups are always welcome.
What?
yeah.
When did I become beer winch?
You're close.
Yeah, I know.
It looks like Edward jumped on. He's on Facebook. He says, "Hey," says Jamie's demand. Nick
you go.
says, "Hey." Oh, thank you.
Pinky's
Thank you.
out.
And Jeffrey wants to know if we brought the Goza again. Last week, Kennedy brought a Goza that he homebrewed.
And it was fantastic.
It was not. If you want to go back and watch that show, it's the first time It's the closest on this show I've gotten to throwing up. It was I got him into home brewing. Well, I helped get him in. I'm going to take full responsibility for it, but I said check it out, and then he took
Get ready to go.
It's getting close.
Yeah.
But anyway, this was his first sour style beer, and some are hits and some are not.
It was fine. I know what he's talking about.
It was
Someone's being a little over dramatic. Claimed it.
Right.
Yeah.
So how long have you guys been home brewers?
I first home brewed. Gosh, it's been how long have I been in this house?
The better question to ask Josh is when was the last time he homebrewed?
It's been a little. It's been a little while. I first homebrewed. It's been over 8 or 9 years.
Okay.
I've been in it now for about a year and a couple months. In fact,
Nice.
I brewed yesterday, as a matter of fact.
What did you brew yesterday?
I brewed a saison yesterday.
You don't say so.
I say,
That's
son.
all right. What type of yeast did you use? Which
Well, funny you should ask. See, this happens every time I brew. He always asks me all about the beer, and I can't remember anything. But today,
oh, did you actually write it down and bring some information?
I have.
A printout? Oh, hey, did you get that recipe at a certain homebrew store?
I have my
Looks
own
like a
recipe
Beersmith
right here.
printout.
Yeah,
Is that a beer?
Yeah, you're using Beersmith.
I am. Yes.
Yeah.
Here's my recipe. So if you guys want to know all about my beer, I can tell you.
Well, let's hear about it. Go on,
Absolutely.
Kennedy.
Yes,
Tell us what
please.
you brewed.
What do you want to start with? The grain bill?
Yeah, I think
Sure.
it's the
All
base.
right.
Well, hold on. Did you change your water chemistry at all?
I did.
Oh, let's go there.
I added a little bit of gypsum, a little bit of Epsom salt.
Did you?
Some-
Did you?
No, I didn't do any of that.
Did you filter your water?
I used-
Straight tap.
No, so I use spring water.
Okay. All right. Interesting. All right,
Yeah.
go ahead. Go.
All right. So it's about 16 pounds of grain in this for the 5-gallon batch. Do you guys really want to hear all this?
I mean, the high points.
Sure.
Here are
Yeah,
the high
sure.
points.
All right.
Yes, go for it.
Pilsner malt.
We'll critique it for you.
Inquiring minds want to know.
All right. Pilsner malt, Vienna malt, Munich malt, caramel wheat malt, and I'm still new, so you gotta bear with me.
For 5-gallon batch.
Yeah.
That's a good saison.
Not bad, yeah.
Melodian malt,
Huh?
melanoidin, melanoidin malt. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. 2 ounces of hops total. 1 ounce Northern Brewer, 1 ounce of Fuggle.
Okay.
And I use the French saison yeast.
Okay.
That's like a hobby saison.
Yeah, it's kind of you used
What IBUs on that?
yeah, what was your IBU?
Oh, he lost me there. You mean what the total? What it's going to be?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, look down toward the bottom on the left, and it should give you your estimated IBU.
Science.
I don't see it.
Going to do science.
Here, let me see your recipe. Do you know how to spell IBU?
Oh well, it's not that important of a question, but
We're curious.
Curiosity, yes.
2 ounces. So I assume you had one bittering addition, and then you had a later addition.
Yeah, I put the hops in 4 editions.
Oh, and 4. Okay, spread them out across 4 editions.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's
What was your starting gravity?
starting gravity. Where is it at?
Yeah, we need to quit asking questions
Yeah,
about all this.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I
This is
usually-
what happens when you geek out.
Yeah, I usually get just my grain bill, my hops, and my yeast, and I usually don't know any of those answers.
The estimate was 0.014, 1.014.
Okay.
It's supposed. It's,
1 point. Okay, so 1014 would be the estimated finishing gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is yeah.
He's rolling about 1080.
Yeah, you should be around 1080, 1085 on a 16-pound grain bill on 5 gallons of homebrew. If you got, like, say, 70-ish% efficiency. So
I don't.
Yeah, you got a high alcohol beer there,
Yeah,
one way or
it's
the other.
supposed to be an
I like it.
8%, but my efficiency is a little off. I was supposed to have fermentation. At fermentation, I was supposed to have like 1.07 or 1.70, and I got like about 65.
Okay.
Well,
So,
review
I'm
your
a little
review the speed at which you lauter your mash, and also if don't ever trust the shop crush. Get your own mill.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a pretty good shop I go to.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're talking
Tacos?
about you're talking about the grain
I'm
seller.
talking about the grain seller.
Helping bring today's show. If anybody, they call him
Oh, I hope I didn't piss them off.
No, you're fine.
Preston. Preston would be right there with Preston, the proprietor, owner, and founder of the grain cellar in Humble, Texas. I don't know if you guys ever make it out to Humble. They just got rid of their stoplight cameras because they're no longer legal, so that's good. But
For
240.
what it's worth, I grew up in Champions in Spring.
Oh, that's not far from here.
All right.
Okay.
So you
No.
know that it's pronounced humble and not humble.
That's right. My grandfather lived on Lake Houston, so
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
You get shot for things like that around here.
yes.
Humble. Tell somebody, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to Humble.
Oh, they just laugh at you. I don't think they would straight up.
Nah, well,
they wouldn't
yeah.
shoot you. They may
Nah,
hit
probably-
you with a
probably not.
post-apocalyptic bat,
Probably not. Yeah.
but with the dull side.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is there a dull side?
Yeah, the handle. The
How are you going to hold it?
you smack them with the knob, like right in the middle of the forehead, like just a donk.
Okay.
That's a. So it looks like 26 is your IBU. Does that sound right, guys?
Seems a
Yeah.
little high, right?
20.
That's a lot. That's a lot of IBU. So if it's
26?
yeah, well, 26 is
It's a little high for a 6.
it's high for a saison. Yeah.
That's a big saison.
You just add up all your IBUs.
Guys, I'm sorry, my phone is going batshit over here.
That's
Oh,
okay.
that's
Business.
okay.
By the way, is there any language barrier on this?
Yeah, cussing then ask you a question.
Well,
Yes.
Kennedy
Custom
speaks.
ass.
Kennedy speaks Spanish. I
not well.
I speak
not well at all.
I grew up in Arkansas, so I speak fluent redneck, hillbilly,
Yeah.
and hick.
Yeah.
I don't know Cajun, but I like the food. So I mean, yeah, whatever language you feel comfortable with is fine,
Okay.
You know, so
Excellent.
No, we're not censored here. You guys are good.
not yet anyway.
Yeah.
No, it's
Sounds
still,
good.
Well,
Unfiltered.
I'd say we're not censored, but you guys got mysteriously knocked off the call.
it was the bat.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
because we were talking about the weapons that
Right.
get
Yeah,
made.
actually, we think Skype just crashed is what it was. 'Cause y'all disappeared and the program disappeared also. We had to restart it.
Okay, that happens.
Total failure.
So we saw the one bat with the spikes, and then there was there an axe, a double-headed axe?
Yep,
Yeah.
we do some axes and blades and some stuff like that as well.
We got a wall full of stuff. Do you want me to go grab something else?
Yeah,
'Cause I'm
get-
going
gra-
to need another beer here in a second
is-
anyway.
yeah. when-
Is the Pope Catholic?
Yeah.
Is the Pope Catholic?
is he?
Does a one-legged duck swim in circles? Of course, we want to see these things.
Sam has a question for you guys. He wants to know when we can expect cans to be released.
All right, then here you go. You need a toy.
Well,
So cans,
Oh.
cans. So on the note of cans, we're actually working on design for cans now. So as you guys probably know, Texas law changes. I guess September 1st, I think is
Yes.
when that's dropping. So for us, because we are a production only brewery, we don't have a tap room or anything like that. So as of September 1st, we should be able to sell cans out the door of our facility, and we are hoping to be geared up and have beer in cans by then. That's probably an aggressive ask for us right now, but we are like full steam forward trying to make that happen.
and I do believe that Aaron, I may be lying here. I know he was shopping and considering. I don't know if he bought the sealer or not.
Yep.
Okay, so we got a sealer on the way.
Yeah, we got the senior coming. We need a fill system, and like I say, we're working on our design and our can order right now. So very soon is the answer.
Okay, very soon.
Yep.
Nice. How big is your brew house?
So we've got a weird setup here. So basically what we have a 2-barrel brew stand that we double up to make 4-barrel batches. Typically, when we produce a batch of beer, it comes out at around 125 gallons.
Yeah, it cranks out 3.5 barrels very
Yeah,
consistently.
3.5 barrels consistent.
Okay. Those double as back scratchers?
Yes, absolutely.
If you're brave enough.
We make a little 18-inch version that is perfect for a back scratcher.
Okay.
This is real. This is real Texas barbed wire. Like
Yep.
this is real deal.
Not
Barbed wire all has like copyrights and trademarks and patents and all that kind of stuff.
It's true. The barbed wire game is that's an interesting concept there. So
yeah. Maybe we should do that as an episode of the podcast. Like, is there like big barbed wire and then like craft barbed wire and that sort of thing?
I have handcrafted. I have handcrafted barbed wire before to be small to scale. So I assume if I've done it, somebody else has probably done it too.
I'm a home barbed wire.
If we're proclaiming things here. I like the spike bats the best.
I'm just trying to think of logistics. If you're smacking the head off of a zombie, you don't want spikes that are too big, right?
Yeah.
Because if they get stuck, especially
Well, also you want I would imagine that as you complete your swing through, you don't want excessive pieces of zombie adding to the mass of the bat.
right.
So that's why I prefer the tried and true. Yeah, loose seal. Yeah.
Well, these are only about an inch. I mean, they're pretty manageable.
Yeah.
Yep, inch and an eighth actually.
Yeah,
So
you
the
don't
spikes are usually an inch and an eighth. It all depends on what you're going for here. So if I were going to have to use one of these against a zombie, for me personally, what I would prefer would be something similar to this with the nut, but no spikes. And we sell that. That's our big nut bat. So that's what I would prefer. It does maximum damage. It's got a healthy payload on the end of it, and how can you go wrong with the big nut?
And that's what we go for on this show.
Big nuts.
Exactly.
This every week.
Big nut.
And it stands up on end like that, so you can just get your hands around it quickly, and
Exactly.
get to swinging, choke up on it, whatever you need to do. So I could see that. You don't want extraneous zombie. What's the proper matter? I was gonna say pulp, but yeah, matter is
Schmegma.
No, that's not the word at all. That's not the word you're looking for.
It's not smegma.
You're hitting the zombies in the wrong places if that's what you got in the
Yeah.
Headshots are what kill them.
Well, that would kill me. So
If I were a zombie, I still wouldn't want to be hitting the balls.
It's true.
Exactly.
Just saying.
If they're there.
Yeah.
I don't know what's the first to go, like to fall off.
Oh, true. Did they?
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking.
The zombie physiology has got to be a very strange branch of science.
Yeah, that's
let's go with pseudoscience.
Yeah, pseudoscience.
that's different experts.
Yeah.
We're not them.
It's I wonder what the differences would be in a dry area like Midland versus say a more humid area like the coastal region that we're in now.
I would hope that the zombie would have a shorter lifespan in the desert. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would presume they dry out so much they couldn't move. I mean, they'd
Yeah.
be like an Egyptian mummy, just like
Yes.
patch ups.
Brittle zombies. That's so if the apocalypse hits, I'm coming to you guys. I'm not staying here.
Right. Beef jerky.
Yeah.
We are prepared.
So, would you be coming for them for the weapons or the beer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We presume the beer.
Yes.
It's you got to have both.
I mean, I feel like zombie apocalypse, you could just wait it out, and if you have beer, it makes waiting it out a little bit more enjoyable.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of people around here, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're gonna need a lot of beer.
Oh. Well, there's a lot of potential zombies.
There's not that many people here. If you think about what, we discussed earlier that there's about 500,000 people in our general region. You have to consider just what that land area is.
Geographically, that is a large chunk of land that the Permian Basin, that West Texas kind of covers.
And there's some asshole in a big white truck who's making that in about an hour.
Well, there's
Yeah.
you guys can take care of that real quick.
That's the hope.
You got some.
No, not really, because everyone rolls around here armed, and they're, so
Oh,
you would.
yeah.
I would assume that of all the regions of Texas, that West Texas is the most armed region of Texas.
That seems a reasonable assumption.
That's
Yeah.
probably a good per capita.
And we kind of like it. Like, I mean, we all walk around armed all the time. So, I mean, we're culturally very much a part of it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of the way it
Well,
is.
if you ever get crossed with someone in traffic, if you ever notice out here, no one ever gets out of their truck.
No, there's very little road rage out here because somebody makes you a little angry, you go, "Gee, okay, it's all good, no harm done."
What's the quote? An armed society is a polite society.
Yeah.
Well, it
And
does.
I will say that I don't know if you guys are keeping up with everything that's going on out here, but economically, it's crazy. To call what's happening to us out here right now a boom is a gross understatement.
True.
In fact, the demand for alcoholic beverages is one of the reasons that we're in business right now. We sold something just in the Midland area. Let's see, there was a recent news report on how many hundreds of millions of dollars, or how many tens of millions of dollars in alcohol was sold just over a 30-day period.
Yeah, there's restaurants that are doing
$500,000 a month.
$500,000 a month. Single restaurants doing $500,000 a month in sales of alcohol. So yeah, it's
And for the first time probably ever out here, people are asking for local beer. When we go to beer events at any of our customers, we always have people come up to us and say, "Man, it's so great. I came from wherever. I came from California. I came from Arizona. I came from Illinois to work out here, and it's so great to have local beer out here." Because where they come from, local beer is a ubiquitous thing. But for years and years and years, there was zero local beer all across West Texas, and we're the first ones to do it in a very, very long time.
very long time.
Yeah, we're technically for Midland the third brewery, but there's a 20-year lapse between the last brewery and us.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Here, there was a place called Hermann's Hofbrau.
Yeah, Herman's Hofbrau.
And they were just a brew pub, and they brewed in-house and served in-house. And they were around for a few years, and then some, I don't know, I don't want to speculate on what happened.
I wasn't here, so I can't speculate.
Yeah, it involved the owner kind of just disappearing. Yeah, well, it was kind of a weird deal. I don't want to speculate on what it was or anything, cast any aspersions. But since that time, there has been zero local beer that we know of in Midland.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the homebrewers. And I will say this, though. We have an excellent cast and family of homebrewers. Aaron and I met through homebrewing about a decade ago through the local homebrew club. We have a very active group here. They're making some really good beers. They're great guys. They're great to hang out with, and they're huge supporters of local beer and of everything that we're doing and all the stuff that's happening in general with regard to craft beer here. They're kind of they're our street team, if you will.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I hope that we are not the last brewery that comes from that homebrew club.
Absolutely.
I hope there's more of them coming.
Well, yeah.
There's potential in person.
That's the best part of homebrew clubs is a lot of like-minded people doing fun stuff. I mean, you're brewing beer, right? That's like we've got the Rogue Brewers that meet at the Grain Cellar.
You're damn right. We got the Rogue Brewers,
but we've got a bunch. We got a bunch of awesome homebrew clubs here in the Houston area, and a lot of the breweries have come out of those homebrew clubs, and of course they're big supporters of the local breweries. And so, to be a neighbor of a home brewer is one of the best things.
If I give so out of my 5-gallon batches I do, and I'm brewing about every 3 weeks now, I give away like 4.5 of that 5 gallons. So
nice.
yeah. People.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny thing. Since last year, Aaron and I, obviously we haven't been home brewing a lot, and Aaron and I live about a block and a half from each other. So not only did we meet through home brewing, but we brewed a lot of beer together just because we live in such close proximity. Well, our neighbors know that we brew beer, and I had one of my neighbors ask me about a month ago, "Hey man, got any home brew?" And I was like, "Man, here's the deal. Since I've been brewing professionally since last year, I have not had time to homebrew." So So what I did was I've made a sort of a deal with myself that I am going to keep at least one keg of homebrew on tap all the time. And since we're brewing so many different kinds of American styles of beer here, I thought, man, it's time to start making more ciders and perries. And Aaron came over the other night and we hung out in my garage and drank a cider that I made. And thank you, I appreciate that. In fact, a couple more friends were over last night. I think it's about gone now. So I'm kind of concentrating right now on my homebrew rig on doing things that maybe I wouldn't have done as frequently to kind of perfect and improve my skill with things like ciders and perries and things like that. Yeah. Because I would like to see us at some point get a vintner's permit so that we can sell ciders. And there's the market for it. I think is growing, and it's something that to at least maybe consider for.
Well, if you look at what Ace, there's the Austin Cider Company. Mm-hmm. There's a couple others. Cider has made this really awesome comeback than just going to the store and finding woodchuck on the shelf. Well, and there's a lot of great taste to be had in ciders.
There is,
but I don't think a vendor's permit is coming next.
Okay. Well, no, we definitely have. Yeah, I want to be clear on that. We have bigger fish to fry before we
other things first. But one day.
Yeah, exactly. But I'll tell you another thing that's great that's happening with the craft cider scene is that there are so many wonderful varieties of hybrid and spliced hops at this point that dry hop ciders and dry hopped perries are becoming a thing because there's such a wide variety of available flavor profiles in hops. And so there's just great things happening on the fermented beverages scene throughout Texas and the U.S. right now. It's a golden age as far as I'm concerned.
You can innovate. You can innovate as a home brewer. You can innovate as a brewery. So
yeah. St. Arnold just put out this first cider. It only took them a quarter century.
Yeah.
So if that's the timeline, if you guys are, y'all have the same license, so I don't know. But
maybe one day.
It's a delicious, just a very drinkable dry cider. Like a pub style cider, and I think they're going to do more. What are we drinking currently, Kennedy? You just poured us another beer.
I'm showing off my St. Arnold 25th anniversary glass.
Yes,
that
nice.
I'm currently drinking out of right now.
Yeah,
they just celebrated their 25th anniversary a few weeks ago.
Okay, well
congratulations, St. Arnold. If you ever see this, I can't tell you how much St. Arnold beer I have drank over the years.
Brock, real good job. Melissa is one of my perennial favorites.
Oh yeah, I love that beer. Speaking of, how much beer from the rest of Texas do y'all get in Midland? Do you see mostly Austin or Dallas, or I guess St. Arnold makes it up that way.
For Texas breweries, it seems like we see probably a little bit more of Dallas. Mainly it's because straight shot down the I-20. We get a fair bit of Austin beers, and we get we get a good selection from Houston. We've seen a couple of kegs from Brash show up.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
Apparently one of the retailers really didn't like the name of Pussy Wagon, so he stopped carrying it.
It's still a pretty conservative area out here.
Yeah.
We had some people change it to Kitty Wagon on the menu, but
Kitty Wagon. There you go.
Everybody knew.
Such a winner.
And if the Brash guys are watching this, they'd be like, "No, fuck that."
Yeah. Congrats to them for doing what they want to do.
Yeah.
Sorry, it doesn't work sometimes. I think they planned on that.
Yeah, I think they're very comfortable with all that.
Are there other Houston breweries that we get besides Carbach?
I don't know, but we see a lot of Carbach here, and Carbach's doing some great things. We're seeing a little bit of Deep Ellum here and there. We're seeing it on tap. So between Austin and Houston,
good selection.
Yeah, we do get a pretty good selection of Deep Ellum here.
Deep Ellum's doing well.
Yeah, and so we get Austin, I would say, is probably the least represented. And there are certain Austin breweries that I seek out all the time. If I'm in the beer store, I'm always looking for anything by. I'm kind of going to a wider area than just Austin, but I'm always looking for like Twisted X, and I'm always looking for Jester King. That's definitely Austin. Anytime I see anything locally that's Jester King, I'll grab it and buy it.
Yeah, go to Austin.
Yeah, that whole Dripping Springs is kind of the.
Yeah, Dripping Springs that's where Twisted X is.
Yeah,
right?
Jester King's kind of in the area, so it's similar, but it's basically just all it's all mashed together. Area's blown up.
Yeah, Dripping Springs also has the Family Business Brewing that's owned by the guy from Supernatural.
Which
Yes.
Yes.
which we're all big fans.
Love that show.
On this show.
Yeah, love.
My daughter loves that show, just to let you know.
I don't really love that show.
I've never seen it.
He was also on Days of Our Lives, if you guys care.
He was on Smallville. That's where he got his start.
Oh, okay.
Smallville was great
Yeah.
back in the day. Am I the only one? Cue the
you're-
crickets.
You're the only one.
20 years ago, however long it was Smallville started?
You're the only one.
I don't know. Lana, she was awesome.
By the way,
What are we drinking?
Right now we're drinking the Saison. To say the world.
Okay.
Man, this is really good.
You want some more?
I hope mine turns out like this.
The cool thing about Save the World,
It's like a waitress now. It's fantastic.
So wait, Sean, what's the Saison you were trying to show us there before Aaron offered to get us more beer?
the Save the World. Hold that back up there, Kenny. This
right.
again from Save the World. The
Oh, it's a Save the World. Okay,
we're all Save the World today. The cool thing about Save the World is they're the couple that owns it. They were both pediatricians, and they for a few years they were doctors. Got all their medical bills paid for, all the medical school bills paid for. And they're like, we don't really need a lot more money, so let's just open a brewery and build the community. And they pay their people obviously and pay for their business, and then they give a lot of I think all the rest of their profits to charity. They're a philanthropic brewery, like Meals on Wheels and Habitat for Humanity, and they have a handful that they're always giving.
Just to let you guys know.
That is highly impressive. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, if you're ever in the Marble Falls area, check them out.
Yeah, I will be later this summer, so I will definitely check them out.
Yeah, for sure. Save the world.
Save the world.
Who's the other brewery in Marble Falls? So I almost want to say like Pronghorn.
No,
They're across the street.
Double Horn.
It is
Double Horn.
Pronghorn.
Yeah.
Double Horn.
Double Horn.
Yeah.
It's Double Horn.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, that's a classic.
I actually went to Double Horn. This has been years and years ago. It was the month that they opened up, and they were not fully functional yet. And I can't remember what I had. It was a lighter beer, maybe a blonde ale or maybe a light lager or something like that. And I was really impressed with what they were doing without a system that was fully functional at the time. And unfortunately, I just haven't been back since, and I need to put that on my list next time I'm riding my motorcycle around Texas to just stop and say hi to those guys.
Well, I've got a map that I don't know. I need to find out who keeps this map. It's a Google map that has all the breweries, brew pubs, everybody in Texas. And it's updated once a week, every 2 weeks, something like that, because that's how to keep up with everything. But
Please post the link. Yes.
yeah, I need. I'll
Make
have
sure
to-
we're on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are. And the cool thing is it's got it labeled, the color coded blue for brewery license, green for brew pub license, so you can kind of tell what's going on. It has typically a link to either a Facebook page or a website or to tell when the tap room is open. But when you look at all of Texas, if you're making a road trip from one side to the other, there's plenty of places in them. You can make your map, your personal map, to stop at a brew pub every couple of hours or a brewery every couple of hours to, refuel.
When my girlfriend and I ever go out on road trips, we always kind of plan it around breweries.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah, so on a typical day, we'll stop at like 4 along the way.
Well, I mean,
My wife and I had our 25th wedding anniversary this month, and we decided we were going to take a trip that concentrated on doing a bunch of hiking. And so we ended up in New Mexico at like White Sands National Monument, and we went and did a whole bunch of trailheads in and around Cloud Croft and Ruidosa and that sort of thing, and did a whole bunch of hiking. And by the end of the day, I was ready for beer.
Yes.
And unfortunately, in the Cloudcroft and Ruidosa, those kind of areas at Tularosa, there are a few.
There's only a couple.
Yeah, there are a few, but they have very sparse hours. And I was a little bit frustrated that every single one of them we went to was closed. And one of them was actually closed when they said that their posted hours were that they were open. So we ended up at this little place called Dave's in Cloudcroft drinking a bunch of Santa Fe and Marble and actually some Rar & Sons. Rar & Sons has a beer that I discovered on that trip that I'm now in love with. It is a mango chili beer. Yeah, and it's, when it comes to fruit beers and when it comes to chili beers, it's easy to overdo both of those flavors. And they got this great balance between the sweetness and the essence of the mango and just a little bit of heat, but a present heat from the chili.
Yeah.
Got the right hop schedule in there, and it's a really, really good beer.
If you can nail that balance, the fruit pepper beers are fantastic. Lone Pint, they did a habanero yellow rose, their IPA. It was fantastic. That was at one of the, where did they have it? At one of the beer festivals around. It was what was it? Firkenfest few years ago. And then just on Tuesday, I went and did an episode of Interbrews at Eureka Heights, and they had their Mini Boss IPA with pineapple and jalapeno, and they combined it just right. So there was none of the the green. I mean, maybe just a little touch, just so like jalapeno flavor, but not that super green vegetal kind of jalapeno. It was just the perfect balance. Yeah. And they used some spicing and margarita mix from a local company here that makes craft made margarita mixes and stuff. But it was perfect. It was just like the perfect summer beer. And yeah, if you can nail it, I don't know. It kind of tickles your throat there after 3 or 4 sips, just to get a little bit of heat back here.
But when you get it wrong, it is disgusting.
When you get it wrong, it's really, really bad. And it's interesting. Yeah, Crime and Punishment. So, I don't want to say anything bad about those beers because that's my buddy.
Well, once you got past the heat.
Yeah, Stone did a couple of beers. This maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
A little bit more than that.
It was a series of beers called, and one was called Crime and the other was called Punishment, and they were the most overtly hot chili beers I've ever had. Like
to make you pay.
Like they burned twice. Dig what I'm saying. It was that bad, and I'm not exaggerating.
So Lone Pint has one of my most favorite beers ever called Undead Ed. Undead Head Ed. Speaking of zombies, and it's made with ghost peppers. But it's just the right amount of heat in that. Yeah, it doesn't burn your mouth at all.
It's a porter, and it's
oh my god, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great winter beer for sure.
Yeah.
The two main challenges in brewing with working with chili peppers, I think, and you touched a little bit on it, was that you've got to make sure that it's not overpoweringly hot, that you don't pull the beer out of balance. But at the same time, beer, they're vegetables, fruits and vegetables. They have a vegetal flavor. Some of them do, and one of the big problems with that is that historically, vegetal flavors is not something we go for when we craft beer. Yeah. And so it's a matter of extracting and using those ingredients the right way. But like you guys are saying, and hats off to Rar & Sons for that mango chili beer, because I feel like it was executed just as well as it possibly could be. Everything was represented flavor-wise. You tasted everything. Everything was in balance, but it was just great. It's great.
Yeah, when it hits it, I don't know, something spicy during the summer.
Yeah, Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeffrey just said that he made a mango habanero beer, pale ale. Only used a sliver of pepper.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so, I have a funny story. This weekend, I was chopping up some habaneros because in the morning we make our eggs, but we sausage and peppers, usually the fajita, the pepper blend and onion, and I've been adding a little bit of habanero just to give a little kick, get my metabolism started in the morning, I guess. But when I was chopping them up, real small little pieces, and so I've got 3 daughters, and I was like, hey, do y'all want to try this habanero? It's very, very hot, but it's a little bitty piece. But if you want to try it, let's do it, and I'll do it too. And it felt like a little like flame dancing on your tongue because the piece was so small, but they're super hot. And so the 2 10-year-old, my twins, they were like, oh, that's spicy, but it's not that big of a deal. But then my 12-year-old, I guess we're getting into, I don't know, the dramatic era, but it's tried it, and then
I get the age wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. Her finger, I guess, had some residual spice on it, and I don't know if she picked her nose or what, but she started crying because her nose was burning, and just went on and on and on. And my wife's like, "Put some sour cream on it." So I look over, my daughter's putting sour cream all over her nose. It was like, what are you doing? She's just bawling, put sour cream.
Did
on
it work, or did your wife
It made her laugh because we were all laughing at her because she turned around and she had sour cream all over her nose. So I don't.
Well, if we're talking about habaneros, one of the most entertaining things I've ever seen was I started homebrewing with 2 guys in Bernie, which is just west of San Antonio, and there was one night after a lot of beer. One of my neighbors brought over a whole bunch of chilies that he brought, and the other neighbors said, "Do you dare me to eat this habanero?"
Why?
And I said, "No, but go ahead." And so, of one of the most entertaining things I've ever seen was Greg Friesenhahn eating an entire habanero, and then the about 15 minutes of choking, sputtering, red-faced reaction. How or why he didn't throw up, I don't know, but my Lord, this is the best thing I've ever watched.
I did something like that on a dare one time with an Asian pepper. The only thing it did to me is it gave me violent hiccups that I couldn't stop for like a half hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, that little Tim Wright's history for you to enjoy.
Little flames coming at each time.
Yeah, go to YouTube one time and like watch people's reactions to eating like the Carolina Reapers and stuff.
Oh, what's the show? The show with not is it like
why would you do that to yourself?
Well, there's the show on YouTube that it's an interview show. I forget the name of the show, but the funniest episode is with Gordon Ramsay, and so it's the Hot Ones or something like that, and they have hot wings that each one is progressively hotter than the next, and so it gets to this. Like almost illegally hot wing at the end where it makes your ears ring as soon as you take a bite, and lights flash and your face melts off. But they have to try to answer questions, and the funniest episode was Gordon Ramsay. He was so mad, so many F-bombs.
That one, and unfortunately it was at work. I had to turn it off because Gordon
Ramsay,
because Gordon Ramsay, yeah. Shaquille O'Neal was recently on there, and his was so funny that it generated this whole library of memes on the internet.
I need to see that.
Yeah, that's just ridiculously hot. I've often wondered when it comes to the Scoville scale. In beer brewing, we are always concerned with at what point. When in isomerization of hops, are we really getting any more useful bittering? So at one point, does it literally become too much hops for a certain volume of beer to get any algorithmic increase?
I've tried that. It doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. More than half. So I wonder. My point being that I wonder whether on the Scoville scale whether. There's beer in that, by the way. Yeah. I wonder if it's the same thing with the Scoville scale. Like once it gets so hot, like at Carolina Reaper type heat, is it just so hot that at a certain point you can no longer decipher it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hot becomes
Yeah.
So tactical nuke, by the way. That's
the tank behind us, the unit tank behind us, has a beer called Tactical Nuke. It's about 120 IBU. We used. I guess we used a very, very insane amount of hops in it. We're probably almost going to have to take a loss just to sell the beer. But my gosh, it is so wonderful. You know what? Let me get I've got stout in this. Let me get a glass.
We'll have to try one before we get out. So,
which I think is coming up, right? How long is this podcast usually, guys?
Until you get bored of us.
Yeah, until y'all are like, we're gonna get fired if we don't leave.
Yeah.
That's very polite of you guys to say that because I can tell you guys are sick of us already.
Tell us. So this is tactical. Okay, so what's the name of this beer?
Mark II. Tactical Nuke Mark II. So we released Mark I, which obviously we're following the nuclear testing schedule here, right?
Yeah.
That's our plan. And our goal is to eventually get, like what Tim was talking about, we want to get off that scale to the point where hops no longer count. You can't decipher the difference. The bitterness, the piney, the citrusy, it's all gone, and it's just like you ate a nuclear hop. Yeah. That's what we're going for. We're graduating towards that with this beer. As you guys know, the trend in beers right now are the huge IPAs. You know, the big hazy New England, IPAs and stuff like that. So we're kind of giving our own spin on that with our Tactical Nuke series, and basically all the Tactical Nuke series, they're all going to be these one-off beers that we make Mark I, then Mark I is gone. We're going to make Mark II, then Mark II is gone. Mark II is notably more hoppy than Mark I was. Okay. So
and it's also also a lot more malty. I actually stuck the mash on this beer. That's how big
Yeah. Thus far, both of the beers have been a real pain in the ass for
True. Yeah. What was the size of the grain bill? What was our total?
Yeah. It was nearly 400 pounds of grain for 4 barrels of beer. Yeah. So
wow.
Big.
Okay, so how many? Okay, pounds of hops, or does it go by ounces, or how?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no, we go by pounds. Yeah. Thank you kindly. So I don't have the hop schedule in the boil phase off the top of my head, but I do know that we did about a 5-pound dry hop on this, Aaron. Yeah,
5 pound dry hop.
Exactly 5 pounds dry hop for 3.5 barrels of finished beer.
Oh wow.
There's a lot of we're carbonating the beer, so there's a lot of pressure in the tank. So right now, about all we're getting is foam. But if you look at the foam is dissipating, and my God, it's such a creamy head on this beer. It's awesome.
Yeah, I was recently schooled as to why my kegs were pouring out nothing but foam.
Part of that's with the length of your beer lines.
Yeah, that's what I found out. Length matters. No matter what they say.
No matter what you tell yourself.
Yeah, length is a thing. It
comes down to it.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Yeah, apparently I was inadequate.
Yeah. Well, you were.
Now,
the really cool thing is I'm holding this glass right here in my hand. I can actually smell the hops off of it.
Yeah, I wish we had smell-o-vision, just so you guys could smell how incredible this is.
I don't know. I don't know when that's coming, but eventually you're gonna be able to stick an earbud up your nose and smell something good. But yeah, I love the smell of those big hazy IPAs. They need like hot cologne.
How would you like a taste of a Belgian style pale ale?
I thought that's the one I already did.
Can you pass it through the computer?
Exactly.
Well, no, I can't. But I was.
It's taste division, right?
Yeah. Somebody needs a beer in this room.
So what the story? Actually, that's a good segue. The Belgian that we were talking before the show started, and when y'all were first doing home brewing and getting ready to open a brewery, the first beer that y'all did was a homebrew recipe that. You know, they did the old yeast switcheroo on you, or what?
We took a bunch of my homebrew recipes and scaled them up, and then we got from the yeast supplier that we used, we got a bit of a surprise, and I think it was not intended by them, but what was supposed to be basically a real nice, clean American yeast was not. It was actually a really great Belgian yeast because it made a badass Belgian beer, but it was not what we intended.
We were expecting a clean, fast, easy Nottingham yeast, and what we got was a very weird Germany, Belgium-y yeast.
A lot of good bubble gum and some banana esters.
Yeah, it had those esters that you would expect. Yeah. I mean, it was a good beer, but the thing that sucks, especially when you're first starting out, is when you intend for a beer to taste a certain way and it doesn't, and you go, "Urgh."
But on that note, we have a plan with beer. There's beer that is not drinkable. that gets flushed down the drain or whatever, right? Then we have beer that is,
distilled.
or it gets distilled, exactly. So we have a local distillery here called Blue Topaz. So when beer is not drinkable, when beer fails that bad, we have a place to send it to.
And that's only happened one time.
One time,
I should say.
exactly.
Yeah.
And we also, but who knows? So then you have beer that is drinkable. So well, what do we do with that? Well, of course we drink it and we find other people drink it. And then you have the threshold of what is sellable. And basically what we found is after we had this yeast mistake, first batch, we drank it and we went, wow, it's good. I'm not
what we planned on.
not what we planned, but we're happy to put our name on it. We're happy to call that Eccentric Brewing Company. And we put it on the market and it's sold and people love it. And we actually, to this day, still have people that go back and ask for, we called those, we called this first batch as Eccentric 1 and Eccentric 2. So just a little piece of eccentric history here. If you ever see an Eccentric 1 or an Eccentric 2 or an Eccentric 35, basically what that means is that was an unintended beer.
Okay.
It was unintended and it turned out great, and we're going to let you guys have it.
Happy accidents.
Happy accidents.
Let's see.
But I'll say this, that one of the things that happened really quickly is that we figured out consistency much in the same way that a home brewer would figure out consistency. But we quickly learned that efficiency goes way up when you go to like a 4-barrel system or a 7-barrel system. We learned a lot of things about hop utilization very, very quickly in the early days.
Sure.
And so it did take, a brand new brewery and a bunch of guys who have never brewed on a big system, it took a couple of months to figure out consistency. But I feel, obviously, and our customers would tell you the same thing. Once we got it figured out, we got the overall procedure and, down pat, we have a really consistent beers.
We have produced consistent beer, which is actually impressive considering that we are still,
We're a young brewery.
we're a young brewery and we're basically a micro system.
Yeah.
It amazes me that we actually just milled malt one day and said, all right, guys, let's roll the dice and go.
Yeah, that's it. Go with it.
And now you're where you're at. That's a beautiful story. And Midland has delicious beer, local
Yes.
delicious beer. Just
And
in
more
time.
coming.
Yes, that's awesome.
So, plans for a tap room. Is that in the works?
Our focus on that is we want to do what we're good at, and what we're good at is what happens in this little room between the three of us, with the kicking around of ideas, with these guys' technical expertise on how to make a beer. That's what we're good at. We don't feel like that we would be good at. We're not the guys that we're not the guys that y'all want pouring a beer for you and talking you.
I don't know about that.
We're just not those guys. So we want to stick with what we're good at. A tap room. I'm not going to say never say never, right? But it is far down the list of priorities for Eccentric Brewing.
One of our favorite things to do when we have an Eccentric Brewing event is we pick one of our customers and we have that event there.
Yeah, go to a tap room at their place.
Yeah, because in a sense, and there's nothing wrong, obviously, with having a tap room if you're a distributing beer brewing company. But in a sense, we've always kind of looked at having a tap room as competing with our own customers, and we don't really want to do that. We'd rather go hang out with our customers. If you ask anybody around town, we spend a lot of time at the places where we sell our beers. And anytime we're going to have an event, whether it's a food event that combines food with beer, or whether it's like we recently had our 1-year anniversary, we had that at the Midland Beer Garden. We're always looking for excuses to hang out with the people who love the beer and hang out with the customers who are keeping us in business and who are growing with us. And so we look at that as sort of a symbiosis of how to make our beer help everyone involved in the process, not just us.
Speaking of symbiosis, another one of our locations, Buffalo Nickel, they're actually putting in a 6-tap system specifically for us.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to, I think that they have 8 now. Or they have 10.
They have 8 or 10 taps currently, which
And they're
I think,
putting in another
I think
6 just for us.
3 or 4 of those taps currently are us. And they're going to put in a 6-tap system specifically for us.
That's cool.
So it's almost like a remote tap room, if you will.
Those Buffalo Nickel guys are so awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
All right. Well, very
So we're really blessed, man. We have a lot of local venues that are into local product that we've become friends with, and that has helped. It has obviously helped us to become a profitable business, but it has also helped them to grow and to give them something that is unique historically in West Texas. And so that's kind of where we are philosophically right now, on the whole tap room thing.
Tap room is just not our priority. We want to grow a little bit more before we look at the tap room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very cool. So, but it sounds like anybody in the Midland area looking for your beers is not going to have any trouble finding it. About how many accounts are y'all in and around the area? It sounds like a lot.
11 currently.
Yeah, we're on 11 currently, and then within by the end of the year, we already have interested. We'll add 4 or 5 more by the end of the year, just based on the people who are interested right now, who are coming to taste beer and looking at how to rearrange their venues.
Because I've been checking my phone while I shouldn't be. Doing this.
Like during this podcast.
Yeah. Actually, I just got a note from someone from Fort Stockton that wants to pick up our beers.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Fort Stockton's about 2 hours south.
Oh, gotcha.
Wow.
Cool. Well,
and word's spreading pretty quickly, and so one of the things that we've got that we're self-distributing at this point. So one of our big things right now is staying in a situation where we nothing ever goes off tap, and that's sometimes a challenge. We've had a few beers this year go off tap for a few weeks or a week or so, and then get it back on. But then we're also looking at managing our self-distribution system in such a way that as we grow, that distribution system grows. And there are a lot, like Aaron said, there are a lot of other towns outside of our immediate area that are wanting the beer. And so one of our bigger fish to fry, as we mentioned earlier, is figuring out the best way to distribute that beer longer distances.
Yeah. What no one ever tells you when you start a brewery is a lot of the logistics involved of what happens after the beer is done.
True. Someone has to pick up every single one of those kegs.
That's right. Oh, hey, someone has to clean those kegs.
Someone has to clean those kegs.
We have to deliver beer today, right after this.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
It never stops.
Yeah.
But it's such a great thing that it never stops.
yeah. No, it's a dream job, but it's a job. So, well, that's a note to say we don't want to keep you from that. There's a lot of thirsty people out there, so we don't want to keep you guys too long today. But we thank you so much for being on Liquid Lunch, and everybody watching, listening, you're going to see this video on your Facebook page later if you didn't get the chance to be on the live show and ask questions. But Eccentric Brewing in Midland, Texas is the best state in America.
Yes.
And America is the best country in the world. And
Yes.
and this world is the best planet in the entire universe. That
we know about.
I'm just saying it is.
Hey, thank y'all so much for having us on.
We appreciate
man.
it more than you say.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Hey.
The pleasure's on this end. Thank you.
And if you guys are ever in the Houston area, seriously, hit us
Yeah.
up and we'll buy you a beer and we'll hang out.
Count on that.
Okay.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, if you're out riding around the beautiful state of Texas and you're in the Midland, Odessa, Permian Basin area, look for Eccentric Brewing. Make it a point to get some. And maybe if you need an post-apocalyptic bat. What was the website again for the bats real quick?
Primalconcepts.net.
Primalconcepts.net.
Yeah. Oh, man.
There you go.
I really want one of those.
All right.
I want it so bad.
Well, guys, thank you so much. Aaron, Jamie, Tim.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah.
Great job.
Thank y'all.
Thanks a lot,
Likewise.
guys.
All right. Y'all have a great rest of your day and drive safely delivering all those delicious beers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
See ya.
See ya. All right. I don't know how to. My Skype won't end. They made. Okay, there we go. I think I did it. But hey, that was cool, man.
Yeah, that's
Texas
cool.
is awesome. We got so many good breweries out there.
I know. Like, who would have thought? Just we haven't had anyone from that area before, and they, like they said, they're like the only ones out there.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, they said one more on the way.
Uh-huh.
Tall City, I believe, is not quite up and running, but I mean, there's a lot of people, a lot of thirsty. Is that a new one?
Yeah,
Which one's that?
it's
Pater's
Pater's beer.
Okay.
Pater's beer.
I don't. Somebody let me know if it's Pater or Patter. Pitter patter.
Pater.
Pater.
Yeah.
Patter.
Mm.
This is good. It's fruity. It's like this would also be called like a Belgian single
Okay.
instead of double.
Oh,
Triple.
this is the single.
Well, this would be the daily beer for the monks. Those monks amongst us.
Yeah, so they had to drink one of these every day.
Well,
Oh, poor guys.
well, it's to they work and they're silent sometimes, and they take a vow of. Is that the last picture that it froze on? They were all smiling. and
Oh, I
everything.
didn't see it.
Look at just to your left there.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
that.
Sorry. Yeah, that's great. Okay, I thought. That
Hi guys. Hi.
good guys, man. That was
Yeah,
fun.
that was cool.
Going from a happy time of a brewery out in Midland to a bit of a sad time. I don't know if you saw the story.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Celis.
Yes.
Did you see the news from Celis?
I did. Yes, I saw the post from one Chad Pilbeam.
Yeah. Well,
One Chadford Pilbeam.
Chadford Pilbeam. He
Yeah.
posted it as well. Andrew from Austin Beer. He was and
sad.
Brewbound. Brewbound may have been the one to break, but there's an auction for a lot of their equipment. So
That's sad. I was just there.
yeah, I don't
Like,
know.
just a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago.
Forgive me for not having all the details in front of me, but I believe from what I saw from the brewery was the it's for restructuring. I think they're still looking for maybe investors if they can get them. But I think it's just a classic story of they went too big,
Yeah.
too fast, too much debt.
Well, it's weird because I see them all over the place. They have a wide distribution.
Good beer.
Wide distribution. They're in all the grocery stores and stuff.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the economy of the craft beer industry everywhere. It was one thing in 2005, and then it was another thing in 2009, and it's another thing now. As far as what model is the best, if you could jump in right away. The issue is if you're saying, I'm going to open a brewery, you don't want to go with the model that's working right now, because in 2 or 3 years, by the time you get around to your licensing and your money in place and your build out, and you're finally producing beer that you want to, you're ready to say, this is who we are. You need to look into the future to know what the model is going to be then, and that's very, very difficult to read those trends and see where things are going. Like right now, we're very much on a small, very local. It's got to be big enough to where you can turn some profit, but you don't want it so big you can't brew the latest trends and the latest things that people are asking. People want new stuff all the time, and who doesn't want to experiment? It's like being a home brewer. You want to experiment with new stuff.
No, but with Eccentric, we were just talking to them. That's actually a cool story. You want to start your own brewery? You want to get your beers out there? You don't have to start a tap room.
It's true.
Open a tap room. You could just brew beers and sell them.
Yeah, and it's very it's different. It's going to be a little different out there in Midland.
Yeah.
Than it's going to be in Austin.
Yeah, I
for
mean,
sure.
like in Midland, sounds to me like the demand is huge, and like it sounds like they can't make beer fast enough.
Jeffrey says he thinks the Baylison model is good. I do too.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm so happy they're back to brewing and back into being open.
The neighborhood brewery.
I don't normally like to give a lot of recommendations to go listen to what's on tap radio on 9:50 a.m. But Adam was on. He, tried to get him on this show, but got to work during the day. It's fine, Adam. You didn't break my heart.
It's all right. We had Adam on a couple weeks ago.
That's true. He was here first. You only get people on live, like that are available at the moment.
Yeah,
it's
I
kind
mean,
of
we are at a weird time of the day.
we're at the best time of the day because you got the rest of your day after the show.
Yeah.
You know, it's the
I
noontime,
mean, I
it's
get it,
lunchtime.
but most people are working and they're catching us on their lunch breaks.
Yeah. So this is where I'm going to throw out a little words of wisdom, just not casting aspersions, but reality is what it is. And I'm no Scott Metzger. I wish we had some music for this background music, a little piano. I'm no expert when it comes to economics, but one thing I am an expert on is my own personal economics, and that debt. Debt makes you a slave to the lender.
Yeah.
You know, if you think nobody cares about who you are, quit paying your bills for a few days, and they'll care who you are. They'll come find you.
Don't pay those traffic tickets. See what happens.
Yeah, don't make that car payment. Somebody will come and take your car because they do care. They care about that payment. Pay cash for that car. With less of a car. Don't get the latest and the greatest. You know.
I will never buy a brand new car.
No, I say pay cash for it. That's what I did. You know, pay off that debt.
Straight up cash.
Make your own calls. You know, be your own boss or whatever. Pay down that debt. Get out of debt. Stay out of debt. And buy beer for people.
Don't buy things you can't afford.
Live on less than you make. You know, act your wage, as the great Dave Ramsey would say. Anyway, I'm not going to steal from him anymore, but it's good advice, though. So, anyway, debt bad. Beer good. Words of wisdom from Josh.
Beer very good.
Anything else we need to... I feel like there was something else out there. Something.
I don't know. I'm going to need a jet in a second. I got to go home before work.
11 Below's got Crazy Pills coming back out. Saw
Yay.
that. They packaged that. It's delicious beer.
Mm-hmm.
Latest episode of Interbrews is up now. If you are not a subscriber, you can subscribe anywhere podcasts are listened to.
If you're not a subscriber, then you're not cool.
You're not cool. Casey Motes was my guest on episode 207. 207.
Oh.
Yes, he's a brilliant man and a very entertaining show. He's always fun to talk to. And Eureka Heights, fantastic beer. It's one of my. I need to come up with some new terms. It's like my favorite beer that I'm drinking right now on that show. There's some really good beers.
Eureka Heights still my favorite ESB.
It's good, but you got to try Holler, man. I want to try them side by side. That's the deal.
I think. Yeah,
You got to have them side by side.
Yes.
That's the only way we'll be able to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
There's only one way to do that. And let's grab it and drink it somewhere together.
Oh, you're making a Pilsner, Jeffrey. Wow.
Pilsners are great. Who else was making? Limbelow was. That's what I just said. But there's somebody else making that.
Hold on. Jeffrey, while you're here, I have a question.
Okay.
The Goza competition, is it this weekend? I think it is. I'm going to enter my Cheetos.
Dirty Cheetos goes.
My dirty Cheetos stinky foot Goza.
I say yes, absolutely enter that thing and see what happens. I want to be either. If I'm wrong, I'm glad. Maybe my nose was messed up. Maybe there was a dirty Cheeto stuck in my nose.
There is a little. I think there's a bit of an off smell to that, but I think it tastes good.
I have
2.5 gallons.
Is that you telling?
in a keg left of that Goza.
Are you just saying that so you can get through it? Is that what you're saying?
No,
look, you could use it to
all right, so it is this. Oh, I need to drop off my beer tomorrow.
do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Walking Stick. Yeah, they do.
Oh,
Jules, thanks.
hey, where have you been, Jules?
She's been on.
Have you been?
Hey, we take my camera full.
Yeah.
Please.
Hold
Hold on.
I
a
don't
little
know
more
if I
words of
want
wisdom.
to.
No,
All right.
it's fine.
All right.
Hey, Jules, how you doing? All right. Did it. Check that one off. You don't have to do it now, Kennedy. Yes, Walking Stick does have a great ESB. Walking Stick.
Wow, man, you just tried to show me up.
I didn't try. I did. I hot-shotted you there. That was part of the plan.
Cheetos Goza.
You got it. Jules, thanks for listening. You're
Yes.
you're in my top 3 favorite listeners.
Jules, you're my number one.
I'm being political in this political season that we're in. We should have our own debates and speak Spanish. Have some people randomly speaking Spanish. Did you watch the debates last night?
No, this may come as a surprise to you, but I did not watch the
I didn't
debates.
watch them either. I just watched the highlights. It's
Ask me if I care about those debates.
it's all comical. For comedy's sake, I say everybody should watch political debates. It's,
I mean, it starts off as being comical, and then it just gets sad. Like they ask questions and they don't answer the questions.
That's
like
true.
Say, is this shirt black or white? And they're going to be like, well, back in the 70s, I did blah, 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 blah.
If you're going to talk about shirts, you need to, you know what you need to know? You need to know that not everybody in this world has shirts. And so to talk about shirts in a way that would just be cavalier of, what's one or the other, I say all people need shirts.
Yeah.
And then with my plan, everyone will have a shirt.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. And a couple times it's funny, but then it's just like, you guys suck.
Yeah.
Just answer the damn question.
Right. Anyway, we won't be covering those in depth here on this show.
No, we won't. No, we won't.
You can go somewhere else to find that. We'll be talking about the beer because it's excellent. Save the World gets our recommendation this week for something you should try. It's in bottles. You can find it around town. I know in the Austin area for sure. You can find it in local HEBs.
There's some really good beers.
I'm not sure about the Houston area. Maybe I've seen them around. I don't know. Somebody let me know. Hit us up. Anything else we need to talk about before we scoot?
No. Have a great weekend, everybody. City Acre, 3rd-year anniversary party this weekend.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I love City.
I'm not going, but my better half will be going in my stead.
Oh, Jules, you're going to the City Acre 3-year anniversary. Please tell Matt I said hi.
Yeah.
Josh from Interbrews says hi, and we need to do another show. I should just send him a message myself. But anyway.
Yeah.
Let's see. Talks of who I'm going to be doing shows with soon. Next week we won't have a show. We'll be celebrating the birth of our country.
Birth of our glorious, wonderful, best nation in the world.
Best nation in the history of mankind, the U.S. of A. It'll be our birthday. We'll be out drinking beers and shooting off fireworks, as you should be, with family and loved ones.
Only if you're not in the Houston city limits. If you are,
come out to the county, y'all.
If it's illegal to shoot off fireworks where you are, don't do it.
You're doing it.
Don't do it.
Or go somewhere else, man.
Don't do it.
Listen.
Either watch a fireworks show or drive out to where you can shoot fireworks. Don't blow off your fingers and shoot some fireworks.
There are a lot of places you can go to watch fireworks, though, in Houston. It's, listen, I don't know. Yeah. Ooh, who wrote that? Was that Jeffrey that said Cheetos Goza?
Yeah.
The toes?
You're just not.
I just saw that. That's brilliant. That's what you need to call that. Like you dipped your foot in it or something.
How about Chi Goes? Instead T-Toes Goes.
Cheetos.
Chi Goes.
You got to have
No, I like that.
You got toes because it tasted like
That's
foot.
good. Actually,
Toes of Goza. Cheetos. Toes.
I think that's how I'm going to enter it. Thanks, Jeffrey.
What kind of cheese did you use? Something funky.
Yeah, toe cheese.
Toe cheese. I don't know. Well, that's another one. See that I want to have a cheese show. I want to get down on some beer and cheese pairings. There's so many good ones. I don't know.
No, beer and pies.
We can do beer and pies.
Yes.
I'm all up for that.
One of these days we'll do a beer and pie because I did an excellent beer and pie pairing.
Okay.
That we should talk about at some point, but now's not the time.
It's not the time. Okay, I guess it's not because we're almost.
No, because it's time to go, and I'm starting to do the pee-pee dance. If I'm going to be completely honest.
You didn't go before the show?
I went before the show, but I drank beers, and I broke the seal.
That goes too fast, man.
Yeah, well, we had the pre-show beer, and then we had these, and now I'm doing the pee-pee dance.
How many beers have we had?
Well, I mean, we split 4 beers. So
2, so you've had 3, and you're already having to go? Have you gotten that checked out? Here's another word of wisdom. Prostate health, y'all. If you're going all the time, maybe you need to get that prostate checked. How old are you now? Maybe time. Do you get your
29.
Do you get? I think you're of the age where it's time to start getting that prostate.
29, really? That's of the age.
Whatever your age, whatever, because it sounds like you need either you got a petite bladder, which is fine if that's
tiny tanks.
You're the hummingbird of people. I don't know.
No, I drank a whole bunch before I came over here.
Really?
Yeah, I drank.
That
not beer.
I had that to cope with the drive. Oh man, I got to go over to Josh's.
I had 3 glasses of water and an energy drink before.
Why don't you switch to coffee?
Because I hate coffee.
You need to get on some coffee, man. Coffee's the best.
Yeah,
it's the second best.
Yeah, it helps you so much.
Well, listen, I only did like a 3/4 of a cup today. I'm on point.
Okay.
I did 3/4 of a cup and then my pre-show beer, and I'm on point. So feeling good. That's my energy drink.
Man, this is the longest song ever.
It's only 3.5 minutes. We've only got another 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
If you need to go, just tell me which button. Don't go. You just wait 2 minutes. You can handle it.
All right. Wait, I can wait. Ooh.
All right, this is where I'll just let you sit there and think about the fact that you need to go to the bathroom. But I want to say thank you to Eccentric Brewing, to Aaron and Jamie and Tim out there in Midland. You guys are doing great work out there. Keep it up. Thank you so much for being on our show today. You guys were a blast to talk to.
I'm going to thank Vicky.
Thanks, Vicky.
For jumping on right now, 2 minutes to the end of the show.
Thanks, Vicky.
Yeah, you're thanks for joining.
Our favorite balls are eyeballs, and we're glad yours were on us. So thank you so much. Jeffrey, thank you always for watching. Matt, we saw you on today. Jules, love you, girl. Thanks for being and watching. What's up? Anyway,
I think you mistimed that. You thought it was going to end right there.
Yeah, anyway. What else? Kennedy, great job today, sir. With all those buttons and graphics and stuff. Thanks to the Grain Cellar.
Yeah.
Houston's Premier Homebrew Store, Humble, Texas, 240 First Street West. Humble, Texas.
My quick button just
7470338.
Yeah.
240 First Street West. Pressing those free hugs, waist up, waist down. Just tell them Liquid Lunch sent you, and all the knowledge. All the knowledge.
Looks like I'll be going there tomorrow.
There you go. And maybe you can have him
Saturday.
diagnose your Goza. And guys, happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. You guys celebrate hard. Drink lots of beer. Blow up lots of stuff. And meet us back here in 2 weeks because it's going to be a big rest of the summer.
Blow up lots of stuff. Don't blow up appendages. You'll need those.
If you do, send pictures. We love you all. We thank you so much. Check out that Amazon link, too. liquidlunchshow.com/Amazon if you're shopping for anything. Maybe like bunting. I don't know. Anyway, 4th. All right, bye, everybody. Liquid Lunch!
Dude Production!